like I'd say somewhere between 1917 and basically 1977, basically civilization went off the rails pretty much. With people like Richard Nixon, PhD Dr. Richard Nixon, basically, which is funny. Like I said, they looked at the court records and they found that all this stuff was actually just Dr. Richard Nixon, basically, um, PhD from Harvard, credit school supposedly. Anyway, who was actually really just old JFK, supported by the black people or whatever, and basically because he was white. Pretty much, like I said, a bunch of white people and some really black people got together and kind of included a few other somewhat black people, um, and basically pretty much tried to create a civilization, basically, which had no real basis other than basically you have a gun, you can do whatever you want with white if you're white or black, and everyone else has to work and is slave. Um, and that was pretty much the Nazi Revolution. They went around, killed a bunch of people, and then eventually got killed themselves, mostly. Like I say, yeah. Well, for one thing, I'm 100 trillion years old, like I say, and they were gonna kill me, and told them I was real. They didn't believe me. They thought I was bluffing and blah blah blah, or they knew I was real and they just thought that they could kill me or something. I don't know. Anyway, like I say, you can go to space. LS is all over the place. Um, LS saddlebags are still being manufactured, though probably not by the same people. Um, anyway, Lucifer Star, you know, 120 different planets, 400 probably about. Like, it's actually probably like 400 or 500, 700 planets. I don't even know. Like I say, I lost count after a while. I only claim 130 or so, or 30 of them. Like, 120. Like, I mean, after you get past 10 or 20, you stop losing, you stop counting, So, anyway, like I say, it's 100 trillion years. I was in existence for at least 50 trillion years, and then 60 or so, and then somewhere around between 60 or 70 or 80 is when it got a little rocky. You know. So, anyway, like I say, people watched me. I created this galaxy, and I created the one that's going to hit us, or actually fly by us or whatever. Anyway, so I mean, LS Lucifer Star was really well known throughout the galaxy, of course. So anyway, and like I say, people didn't believe that I had created the particle matter that makes up like this e-cigarette and even the oil that's in here, and basically pretty much the basis of all life pretty much functions on my work, which is basically particles, particle creation, particle matter. Like I said, we created the first suns or stars, and somebody tried to stop me from doing that. I don't know why, because it would deny the existence of every life form afterwards. But like I said, there's a bunch of black people running around saying that they're singers or that they have talent, and even the doctors really. Sometimes the black doctors aren't even doctors; they're just people who actually talk to white doctors or people, and they actually didn't even go to school. Like I say, when you go to a black doctor and ask for help, he might just be going by what a white doctor is telling him, or a German doctor or someone. Like they basically, their level of schooling with black people is kind of low, where even the songs are somewhat lip synced sometimes, and it's actually like a white person with a board going, because the black people just don't want to put in the work. Like I said, there used to be supposedly big bands, and I paid black people to learn how to play instruments and even play music, but apparently they were too good for that and didn't actually do it, apparently. And in fact, all the videos of black people playing instruments is actually a um, white band actually playing over video of the black people playing the instrument. And like I said, I had some people look at all the videos, and they looked at it and they said they're just moving the they're not playing music, they're just going in tune with the song. Like, they didn't play any of this music. This is played by somebody else. You can tell because, I mean, you can look at the video and tell that it's not the same music and it's not any music. They looked at the rhythms and stuff like that, and they're disjointed, and it's not actually even. They're like, there's not music being played here. You know, it's all it's just them moving their arms back and forth. That's it. And I was like, wow, really? But yeah, basically, um, to where pretty much it was some other person. Like black people never played instruments. They just filmed them playing and then put another band over the top of it, basically. So, I mean, yeah, they were just going like this, back and forth. Anyway, I was rather shocked and amazed at how much what they had done. I was like, wow, that's too much. I can't even believe that. Like, yeah, well, they had guns before, and they were just forcing the white people to do whatever they wanted. So, and basically, it's all just a sham. So anyway, and then they tried to kill the white band members when they were going to expose for what they had done, because white band members could play the music better than the black band members because they had never actually played the music. So, but they wanted the money from the royalties. So anyway, and there's a lot of other stuff. So massive amounts of fraud and basically huge amounts of corruption that JFK, Nixon, and a bunch of black people were all in with, and that's why Africa is so bad, is because they literally didn't do anything or even go to school. Unlike the Chinese or Japanese, they just figured why when we got the Chinese or Japanese or Americans or some other or the Europe people, and so they planned on just enslaving everyone and just using us as their little bitches. But like I said, they were hoping that they could get a control and interest in drugs, but like I say, drug farms are everywhere, and Japan was like, or China was like, we don't need drugs, so they just quit. So, there's some drug activity, a little bit more. I mean, they have their own farms; they can grow the stuff underground. It's not like in the old days, and they were trying to control the drugs, but they couldn't really control the drugs because anyone can, like pharmaceutical stuff. I mean, I researched it in 4 different countries, so 4 different countries have their own lines of research going for just about everything. Like I do that, I say, okay, you're gonna get raised up on your own, and you're gonna get raised up on your own, and you're gonna get raised up on your own, and so they just raised up same directions, but 4 different countries. So they all have their own research, so they didn't even really need any crossover, but they had it. So which just kind of filled in the gaps of everything that they didn't have. So it's really more of just a filling in. And like I say, I raise up nations, I raise up planets, I raise up life forms. That's what we do, and that's who I am. And I did it all throughout the galaxy. So, while a lot of people go, they're just drug dealers or people that have been paid by Nixon or paid by the African people or paid by this or paid by that, and they're just they're just stupid. It's the whole like Nixon JFK lie and Africa lie and black lie. I mean, which is pretty much, basically color cards, and pretty much, after they killed a bunch of people and then got killed themselves, and then tried to carpet bomb a bunch of people, it came out that they're basically just Republican and Democrat piece of shit, and basically wanted to do something that they couldn't do, and actually were trying to kill me or whatever. So, and basically they just been like living the life of basically, like like I say, they just handed out stuff and then like shot a bunch of people and forced a bunch of people into slavery, and the black people did, and some really white people did, and now the truth is coming out and things are coming out and it's obvious, and it's been 100 billion years anyway. So it's like it's been 100 billion years that we've been in existence, and there's trillions of life forms out there because these two galaxies were 100 trillion years apart. So it's been a long time. There's tons of technology out there. Enough to make galaxies, basically. Anyway, the closest runner-up to me was basically China, and that's why they renamed the sun the star, and they were trying to redo it before me, but they couldn't actually get before me to create the star, so they just renamed it the sun. And that's about all they could do. That's as close to before me as they could get, which was right on my heels. And that was some black people that were trying to actually kill me and confuse everyone. So they couldn't even really like get before me. So, and it was just a black plot and black and white plot, and it didn't work. Like they couldn't actually get before me, and they couldn't do much really. So they're just left looking like the shit humans that they are that killed a bunch of people and basically tried to cover it up, and